Motivating your child with dyslexia to read. A lot of parents say to me, oh, my child doesn't want to read, my child hates reading. Well, in this video, we're going to have a look at how to motivate your child to read. First thing to keep in mind is don't tell them they should read, just tell them they will read and insist on it. Using words like should and trying to guilt them into reading is not going to work. Guilt is a poor motivator, and in the longer term, you want to just use fun. Now, it's good to give your child some options for how they read. Don't let them choose whether or not they're going to read. Insist on reading. But you can let them choose a few things. What book will we read today? Will we read in the kitchen or will we go outside to read? Will we drink cordial or will we drink juice? Give your child choice over the small things, but do insist that they read. Help your child find books they will enjoy. For example, comic books are fantastic for young boys. If you can find words that are easy enough and the text is big enough and it's not too stylized. Other things though, your child might love reading books about skateboarding, surfing, computer games, horse riding. Find something that taps into your child's interests. Create a routine. A child is going to read better if they're in the routine that every day at 5:30 we sit down and we do this for 15 minutes and then I can go and play. Build fun things into that routine, things like something yummy to eat or drink either during or after the reading session, and make it as pleasant an environment as you can. Some parents realise that trying to fight their child on this one is not going to work. If your child is just refusing to read to you, let them read to someone else. It might be an older sister or an older brother. It might be a cousin. You might need to pay the older brother $10 a week or something to listen to the younger child read. So be it, just get your child reading. A child with dyslexia is going to find reading quite exhausting, so keep the time frames short. It's better to do 2 sessions of 5 minutes of reading than 1 session of 10 minutes. Remember that for a child with dyslexia, reading is exhausting. It's like going for a gym workout. You and I as adults might have an attention span of half an hour or an hour, but for your child who finds reading really difficult, their attention span might be more like 5 or 10 minutes. So it's important that we do a couple of short bursts of reading rather than one long burst of reading. I would go so far as to recommend that for a 6-year-old, you'd want to have about 2 sets of 4 minutes of reading. For an 8-year-old, you'd like to have about 2 sets of about 6 minutes of reading, and for a 12-year-old, about 2 sets of 8 to 10 minutes of reading. Using a stopwatch works, especially for young boys. I'm yet to meet a little boy who wasn't at least partly motivated by having a stopwatch. The stopwatch tells them that they've only got to keep reading for 3 more minutes and then they can escape and have a break for a couple of minutes. It helps your child's motivation if you tell them why they are reading. Children don't want to read, so if you tell them we are reading so that it becomes easier for you and so you can enjoy school more, that can be motivating. Give your child an audience once they've got good at a book. It could be jumping on the phone to grandma, it could be jumping on Skype to an uncle or a cousin. Have them read over the phone or over Skype, and then they'll receive the praise from that relative. It works wonders for motivation next time. Use appropriate rewards and consequences. So reward your child's effort with reading, with food or some extra pocket money. At the same time, if your child refuses to read, then you're going to have to punish that child and you're going to have to inspire them to want to read with some negative consequences. Some effective ways of doing that have been things like turning off the internet for 24 hours, not letting your child watch TV for 24 hours or the PlayStation. Whatever it takes, they need to read. Without this reading, they're not going to get back on track. So reward well or punish well. There are so many ways to help motivate your child to do the reading with you. It's vital that they do it. Look for good ways to make it fun, change the environment, make it part of a routine. Also, I'd recommend you have a look at the other videos on this website because they're going to talk about how to make reading easier. A child who's finding reading easier is more likely to be motivated. Parents, I know you've got a brain and you can think for yourself. Adapt what I've said to your child and your situation. I know you can do this.